What's up, everyone? It's Gavin or Tweek.
What up? What up? It's Charles or Chuck. I just fucked that up.
It's so tough being in the second position, right? What's up, everyone? You got Matter Has. Yeah, you mixed yourself. Matter Has back after a couple episodes off. Life has been busy. Hope everyone's having a good time out there. We had a nice big tournament this weekend. Crown felt like such a top-heavy tournament. But also I hope everyone's having a good time. And we'll talk about it a little bit. A little Street Fighter 6 action. By a little bit, I mean a lot. Chuck and I have been on the grind, so we're excited about that. But obviously we're here. We're going to talk about Crown. But how's everyone doing? How y'all doing? Chuck, how you doing after butchering that intro?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Obviously, Pink. Congratulations to Pink on his newborn baby. And
did you not say that last week?
We did. But I just want to.
We're gonna keep going.
I just want to say it. I want to say it again because Pink is not here because of his father's
kid's gonna be 35. All right, Marcus. All right, nice job. Another one.
At the beginning of every episode, it's just a tradition.
Yeah.
We just congratulate Pink like for no reason. Well, I mean that is obviously for a reason, but just let's keep it going. Yeah.
Right. So, huge congrats to Pink. So unfortunately we can't have him on the episode, but obviously he has stuff to do right now. So that's really cool. And Street Fighter 6 came out. So I've been playing a lot of that. I wanted to be at Crown, but unfortunately was not able to go. So I was able to just grind Street Fighter, which was really sick. And for me, this is the first Street Fighter that I've like grinded. So I'm learning a lot of like really baseline stuff, but the journey so far has been really fun. Just like going through the different stages of learning different situations in Street Fighter. I feel like my decision making is not too bad, but the execution is obviously like a barrier. And I was actually thinking like, man, I really want to play like a modern control character, like which modern control character would be easy, but it's weird because the modern controls is like light, medium, heavy, and you don't get to pick which one you use. And I don't like that. I want to pick which button I press, right?
In the story mode, they force you to play modern controls for the first chapter. And I was seriously like, what the fuck is this? Like, how do people play it? Like, it didn't make any sense to me because I've obviously... Yeah. I like grew up in the arcades playing Street Fighter, you know, like this is like, and I understand, like, I think they're doing an amazing thing with the modern controls and I think they're awesome. I just can't, like, it does not compute when I try to do something with it, but it's pretty cool. Yeah,
modern Zangief is funny. Like Justin Wong had some clips where he's just like command grabbing people like with just one button on reaction in like a lot of scenarios. It's so funny.
It might be broken, honestly. I think it is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure though.
Maybe we'll see how the meta like unfolds. And then obviously Crown was crazy. Like the results from Crown are just unthinkable. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Wild stuff. What do you think, Gavin? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just got back last night. Almost missed my flight, but I'm happy I made it. Yeah, just back to the grind. You know, I've already been practicing, like, I've already had like 3 practice sessions since I got back, just like motivated to try to stay on top of things. I'm also experimenting with a lot of new things in Smash, so I'm trying to compensate for that too. Yeah, just trying my best to keep myself distracted from getting upset about my performances and just playing. That's pretty much it.
Have you watched any of your, like, what's your kind of, I know you just got home, but what's your process right now for, like, I know you're grinding a lot, but was there anything, do you have any, like, big takeaways from Crown or anything that you think, you know, that you're looking at in particular?
I think I have, like, plenty of habits that appear when pressure is put on me. I also just had a hard time executing, like, most things. But yeah, that's the nice thing about having, like, you know, waiting for a flight or having Wi-Fi on a flight is if the VODs are there, which is cool. But yeah, I've done a lot more playing than watching. But yeah, there's a lot of things I took away from the event for myself. I don't know, and a lot of that, like, I don't even truly understand why. I think that the habits is the easy part, though, is like being aware of it is really nice. And a lot of players like putting that pressure on me and like punishing things over and over is like, damn, okay, like I have a lot of glaring things I need to work on. But some of the other stuff is a little harder to work on, I think, a lot more ambiguous.
For sure. Before we get into the whole Crown breakdown, I do want to just shout out real quick. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're also going to be doing a bonus segment recording after this episode. Make sure to check out our Patreons for more bonus content. And the bonus topic for this episode is going to be how to VOD review. So like essentially our own experiences with VOD review and, all that jazz. So now we can get right into Crown. Man, I mean, where do we even start? There's like so much to unpack from this tournament.
Yeah, I think easily and just at the highest level, I mean, we got to talk about Zomba and Jakal, right? Like, I think that's just where we start, right? And then we kind of unfold it from there.
We could warm up with doubles.
That's all right. Okay, nope.
I liked watching Gavin's Mega Man in doubles was fun. Like,
is that the only time you played Mega Man this weekend? It is, isn't it?
One game in singles.
I played him in one game in singles. I was kind of just like, I was so upset after losing in winners that my plan was just to throw in the most entertaining way possible so I could leave.
What?
Right when we saw the Mega Man, we were like in the Discord car or whatever. We saw the Mega Man. It's like, oh man,
that's when I was at the gym.
This might be tilted, Gavin.
Dude. Well, that reminds me of I think it was it was one of the invitational tournaments.
Oh my god, the Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and you were down 0-2, and then you went Donkey Kong, and I turned to Rivers. It's one of my favorite quotes about you. I turned to Rivers, and I go, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, he's going Donkey Kong. He's down 2 games." He looks at the screen, and he goes, "He's throwing by winning." And then you reverse 3-0'd with DK. I was like, what is this? Like, what did I just watch? Like, what? Because it was like one of my first times being in person at a tournament, like after being on the podcast, like becoming better friends with you. I was like, what is this roller coaster of fucking bullshit like that I'm experiencing here? Like, what is this? And you're on DK and you just reverse 3-0. I was like, oh, okay, all right, that can happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's something that I've never fully broken over the years. B likes to call it single elimination bracket. I just have ups and downs, but it's cool to at least put Mega Man on the spotlight and just it was like my Mega Man still sucks, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, the main thing I like you were saying with mentioning Jakal and Zomba, like those are the big stories of this event. Not only because they got first and second, but also because they're from my region, and I'm just proud of both of them, especially Jude. He's a close friend of mine. I've played and talked with him about Smash so much, so it's incredible to see such a good placing, such good wins, bouncing back after losing in top 8 and getting some, just adding some more icing to the cake with the high level wins. So congrats to both of them for just performing so well and really sticking to it. Like both of these players, they go to their locals, they attend any big tournament they can. Like Zomba's like a young kid and he's out here competing in Japan, like and came back a new player too. So shout outs to both of them for doing so well. I'm very proud.
I think too, like just breaking it down, looking at it even deeper, is Jakal's run, like starting towards top 64. 3-0 Chase, who was playing white hot all weekend, top 8 Chase.
Yeah. That was happening next to me while I was playing one of my matches as well.
Were the games close? Because I don't know if it's on the quad or not. I figured.
At least one of them was like as close as it can get, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of them were that way. Maybe some of them were like a small like a slight lead kind of victory, but yeah, it was relatively close.
He 3-0 Chase, which I think is incredible on that day. Yeah. Chase beat Light later, Light and made it top 8 at that tournament, which is ridiculous.
That's some of the best Fox matchup gameplay I've seen.
I think in general, the aggressive Palu play, like how strong he was off stage, like not necessarily just getting the hits, like but just positioning. Right, because you can position for not just her good aerials, especially his down. Like he was so good with down air.
It felt like Chase was dictating the pace, and like you don't really see that happen to Light very often. And it felt like Chase was hitting harder, playing faster. Like you don't really see that kind of things often, and it made it look like a brutal matchup to me. Like it did. I was like, every time Light gets hit, he dies. Yeah, it was crazy.
Chase played perfectly.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jakal 3-0ing Chase is looking back on like how the tournament played out is pretty interesting.
3-2
Chase?
Spargo, which
Yeah.
I think it was on the quad. I did not catch it live.
Yeah,
But
I didn't get to see it either.
damn.
That was the number one player Jakal wanted to beat, because he's had a lot of Game 5 sets with him in the past. And
I remember the Ludwig one.
Yeah,
he
he just really wanted to get a W over Spargo because he knew he could do it. It's been Game 5 before, and it's pretty awesome that it was Game 5 again, and he actually closes it out. And I feel like that, like, I feel like we've talked about something like this recently, where that just like opens up the idea of like what's stopping you. You know what I mean? And that led into such a fantastic performance even afterwards.
Well, I think for me, the biggest part about Jude's performance that was great is I feel like Jude has positioned himself in winner side top 8 a lot of times. And he's also even just voiced his frustration about getting into winner side top 8 and then losing 2 in a row. And then you just get 5th, right? And it's like such a shitty feeling. I could only imagine.
He's getting the experience to be able to
right to make the run, right?
Yeah.
Continue the run in top 8 and go really far. Here getting second
even after entering top 8
and losing the first round and still bouncing back. Yes,
bouncing back and getting some crazy wins, and like you said, like making more of a presence in top 8 rather than just like losing 2 sets.
Yeah, not just like, oh, I'm the guy who upset at Spargo. Peace. Right? Like
go 0-2 after, yeah.
Right, and then everyone thanks Jakal on his way out. Like, thanks for getting rid of Spargo. Peace out. Like that's got to be one of the worst feelings when you get like the biggest upset of the tournament, but you can't carry the momentum onward. And I'm glad that Jakal was able to carry the momentum onward. Got the run back for Shuton. Incredible performance. And honestly, Zomba and Jakal, both players that are playing more old school type characters, right? Or old school, like year 1 meta character,
vanilla.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the box characters.
I feel like that goes for playstyle and character too for both of them.
Right. And they made it work. Look at one of the most stacked tournaments of the entire year, and first and second place. Fusion Grand Finals. Like
that was so funny, dude.
Their playstyles are like simple, confident, effective, and you really got to show them something scary for them to fold. You know what I mean? And they were able to. And that's like one of the hard things about fighting those two is like they have the game down to a science, and you have to break like an unbreakable wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the rest of Jakal's run essentially boiled down to 2 wins over Onin, including a reverse 3-0. I think that was loser semis. Beating Leo 3-0, which is just ridiculous at any point in Ultimate's lifespan.
That was his first time playing Leo. That's another person
really?
He has really wanted to play against an Ultimate. It dates back to when he was younger in Smash 4. That was like a really good win he got in Smash 4.
At Shine, right?
Yeah, so it took him a while to have this opportunity to play Leo in tournament. But yeah, it's really cool that he got so many opportunities, not only that are really great, but also the ones that he specifically wanted at the same tournament, and being able to come out on top in basically every situation he was put in. And I think something that pays off is like, he's gotten top 8 a handful of times. He's gone Game 5 with some of these players, and I feel like this weekend it all came together so beautifully. You know what I mean? And he was able to really show his stuff.
Yeah, and I hope this snowballs for him. I hope this snowballs in terms of like confidence and stuff like that. And I know for Jude doesn't travel as much to the West Coast particularly. So also doing this in a tournament environment where, he traveled to the West Coast, you got to deal with the jet lag and all this other stuff. Might be some elements that put him outside of the comfort zone, but he's still able to prevail. So that's really sick. And now we got to talk about Zomba too, right? Because Zomba has been having these amazing top 8 runs, and
it's been Mr. Consistency.
It's kind of a similar thing that I was just saying, right? Like, he's been close so many times. He's gotten top 8 a bunch. And the last couple of weeks, like he's beaten me and Leo twice in a row,
which is insane.
We have to figure this kid out. You know what I mean? And actually closing it out and getting like a big tournament win is like I said, it feels like, all of your efforts are really paying off, and all of like the tough losses or like, barely meet, like missing something crucial, or like, barely losing to a player or getting second place, whatever it may be. I feel like for both of them, it's like it paid off at the same time or something, which is very interesting.
And I see Zomba getting a little bit more technical too, like the down tilt chains. He knows which characters it works on, or at least
out of shield versus Leo.
Right.
He was doing
down air, yeah, footstool down air.
More than once. Like it was a big factor in the matches.
Yeah, because Zomba is the Rob player that's usually like, I don't do the 0 to deaths. Like I'm Fundy's Rob. I hit one hit confirm off nair only, all that other jazz. But I can see now that Zomba is really trying to win, because a player that says that, and then I see that kind of player doing a bunch of tech and stuff, I'm like, okay, you are going against something you generally don't want to do, but you are forcing yourself to learn and advance your character. And another thing is just winning with Rob against all these veteran players. Zomba does not get the pass of like, oh, well, they don't know the matchup that well.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like he's beating everybody with Rob. Like everyone knows that matchup at this level of play. So very impressive stuff coming out from Zomba. Dude, Rob is the most common competitive character in like a top 32 or top 464 environment.
One of Leo's most common training partners is Big Boss, man. And they play doubles together all the time. Like this is, and Gavin, that's one of your favorite matchups in the game. So it's just like this kid, I don't know what changed exactly. I think a part of it is, like you said, I think his punish game looked amazing, honestly. It looked so good. His edge guarding was also very good against Leo, as it should be in the Byleth matchup. Like you have pretty good opportunities off stage to attack Byleth. Yeah, there it is, footstool down air, right as we were talking about it. But I feel like he's just been playing well too. Like just looking at his stat page, like basically since major upset where he got 9th, like he just won a bunch of locals, including a Xeno in there. He got 3rd at Cirque du CFL, which is like pretty decent. But then, like you said, Gavin, like leading up into Japan, I remember he was one of the players that did well when he was in Japan, because almost everyone underperformed from the USA. But he did well. But Delta 4, he only got 25th, which is like not good, but not bad or anything. Like it was fine. But Kaguribi, he just was one set short of top 8, which is amazing. That again, I feel like we say this every week, because this is the most stacked tournament ever. That was really one of the most stacked tournaments ever. Very, very hard tournament. I feel like
his tracking and positioning has always been his strongest thing. I feel like he's very consistent with cornering people and ledge trapping, and he's never really overextending. He always gets the extra damage and the kill opportunities, just because I think he's always positioned really well. Which is what I think of when I say he feels like a little old school and everything like that. Because I feel like a lot of the younger up and coming players are really oppressive and overwhelming to play against, while Zomba is actually very defensive, but always in a really good position to win, always consistent at punishing your habits, or it just feels like he's never in a situation that he can, risk losing a stock for no reason or something like that. And I feel like Jakal's the same way. And I feel like, I'm sure they're products of their environment, because I feel like a lot of us play that way.
Everyone in Jersey camps.
But those two, I think that's a frustrating thing about playing them, is they will never, ever make it easy for you no matter what.
Yeah. And I think that was one of my main takeaways too. And we kind of covered it, but just to say it outright is, I think we all knew, and I think anyone who's really watched competitive Smash Ultimate, especially in the Northeast, has known that Zomba and or Jakal has had the ability to go the distance before. Like at any of these majors, it could have happened. They both happen to do it at the same one, which is pretty funny. And I don't know, it seems kind of like fate in some sort of way, but it's just really nice to see it happen for both of them, especially because I know they've both been working really hard. I mean, Zomba, like you said, has been traveling so much to different places and playing. When he's in Japan, he was grinding a lot too. Like any stream I tuned into, I saw him playing and all that stuff. And Jakal, we talked to, I talked to him a decent amount. You talk to him a lot more than I do, but I know he's always thinking on how to improve and how to work on his game. And he had, coming into this tournament too, he was having a rough month, or a rough streak of a couple tournaments where he was not doing great, man. And he was, I think, kind of down and being hard on himself. And I think something clicked this tournament. And I hope it turns everything around for him, because when he plays amazing, it's fucking awesome to watch. It's such good ultimate when Jakal's playing well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know Jakal was even talking about maybe switching characters and all that stuff. And keeping your faith in Wolf nowadays, it's a pretty tough task, considering.
Fuck that. Nope. I've seen back air explode someone at 60 this weekend. I'm over it, dude. Shut up. That character's
but you gotta
dumb.
for that fair.
Not safe on shit.
That's a drift in fair. But I will say it was crazy how many just sweet spot back airs Jakal was
Yep.
getting, whether it was from a confirm or just like raw reads and advantage.
I really feel like he had people really well conditioned and really afraid of him. Like, especially as he was taking games and he had a big lead, and like he had people playing slow. Like he had people really locked in place.
Jude,
his positioning and spacing were great. His tempo mix-ups with the laser were great, which is actually something I'm pretty hard on him about a lot of the time. But a lot of the time when I like would mentally like I would be watching him play, in my head I'd be like laser, and he would do it, and I'd be like, oh shit.
So you were on the phone with him, and he had his earbuds on, and you were like laser. Is that what you're saying?
Classic, mid-set coaching.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Mid-game coaching.
Did you just have your wireless controller?
Just laser, that's it.
Gavin the Destroyer.
But yeah,
did you get that reference?
And what Charles was saying, like, you know, it made me a bit nervous watching him. I think he kind of fell apart a little bit against Shuton towards the end there. I think a lot of his game plans he kind of neglected, and like he was kind of giving things up a little easier than he usually does. So seeing him bounce back and 3-0 Leo the next set is like, what else do you say other than like that's exactly what you want to see if you are aware of his performances or good friends with him or something like that, right? Like that's just a sign of, you know, how much better does it get than that? You know what I mean? Like beating the best, the GOAT of Ultimate after a tough loss in winners in top 8. So I feel like the sky's the limit now. You know what I mean? Like if you can do this, what can't you do? And I feel like that's great when you're going into a competition, right? Accomplishing something and knowing like, well, I've beaten the best players. I've beaten 2 of the best players in one bracket. So like, you know, what can't I do? And I feel like he should be looking forward to competing when it comes to something like that.
If this tournament doesn't boost your confidence, I don't know what will. The Spargo Leo doubleheader is insane. So
yeah.
Stuff, man.
Yeah. And that winner set versus Shuton, he had a pretty good lead game 4 and should have closed out 3-1. So that set specifically, watching it, because I was really rooting for Jakal to win, and Jakal lost. And just watching him, I wouldn't say throw game 4, but definitely not closing out game 4. And then game 5 didn't go so well. And it's like, dang, that really sucks. And that's the situation that I feel like Jakal fears the most, like just kind of busting out in winners and then getting shit on in losers, right? And then, like Gavin said, like your next opponent's Leo, and you overcome that with the 3-0. That is a insane bounce back when you should have closed out game 4 in winners, and then you come back and you just 3-0, you know, the GOAT of Ultimate, which is just absolutely insane. So yeah, shout outs to Jude and Zomba. 3 out of 8 of top 8 New Jersey. That's pretty sick.
Well,
that's crazy.
Zomba's in New Jersey.
Oh well, he's New York. Tri-state. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. There you go. 3 out of 8 Tri-state.
Fusion.
Yeah. I almost had it.
It was basically our local plus Shuton and winners.
Plus Shuton and winners. Yeah, I saw that.
Shuton and winners.
I looked at it and I was turning to people. I'm like, this is just my local with Shuton.
So Tri-state coming back.
This is my local. Cool.
Shuton's in Jersey.
Yeah.
Live Shuton reaction. Dude, I love that meme. I think it's so funny. I think there have been some great Ultimate memes lately. The Sonics one too. I've been loving the Sonics one. Impossible matchup, just give up. It's so funny.
That it's so peak.
It's so good. So the peak. Devil emoji. It's amazing. Zomba also beat Sonics, who's been, I think he only beat him. He beat him one time at Ludwig's, but aside from that, it was 2-4, 4-1 in the set count until Crown.
Yeah,
so
Sonics has given Zomba hell in the past, some really tough matches. So it's another situation where sometimes you beat a certain player and it's like, what can even stop me for the rest of this bracket?
Yep.
Not to say that Sonics was necessarily a bracket demon or anything, but it's still one of the best players on the planet, you know?
He's an obstacle for sure. He's an obstacle for a lot of players.
For anyone, yeah.
Dude, the thing I gotta say, and I love Leo so much. I think he's brilliant. He's great. But the rivalry between Zomba and Leo has been fucking fire, dude. It's been really fun to watch. From their set at Battle of BC to the coin box or the H box grudge match or Salty Sweet to this weekend, the reverse 3-0. I was like, this shit is scripted. This
dude,
is
reverse 3-0ing Leo is some shit.
With the MkLeo tag.
Yeah.
Come on, Zomba. Come on. What the hell is that? That's wild.
It's in character for
crazy.
him.
It is yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
To balance out what you said, Leo versus Spargo
for ninth was insane.
That was one of the sets I was in the crowd watching, and one of the main things that came to my mind is like Leo is the only player that can make me react like a spectator, like that I'm not a player at all. Like I have goosebumps, I'm like freaking out and screaming at everything he does. Like he is the only player on earth where I will genuinely do that the entire set. And damn, I don't know if I want to say this on the podcast, but he said something to me the night before top 16.
Think about don't Jay Dizzle out. Wait. We can save it for the bonus cut. If you want to know what he said, subscribe to Patreon.
Oh yes,
I'm not gonna say.
We're paywalling it.
Whatever, but and seeing him do it in real time versus Spargo while down 2-0 legit gave me goosebumps. Like that dude is Smash Bros magic. Like
here's my
and I don't say things like this lightly about any player. I don't have like a ridiculous amount of respect for almost anyone. Like I've been around a while. I'm difficult to please. Like
Tweek doesn't respect anyone that plays.
I can be a little negative too, like a lot negative about
like
most
Leo,
people's decision making and gameplay and characters. Like so, like saying like this dude is magic at Smash. Like he's amazing. And that set was awesome.
He's the magic man.
Yeah, MK Magic, whatever the fuck.
One thing I really want to point out about this set is that Leo usually sticks with his character that he started the set with when he reverse 3-0 someone. This is one of the first times we've seen Leo switch into a new character, and then do the reverse 3-0.
Interesting.
Can I ask you something? Because everyone is a fucking expert opinion haver on Leo's characters. Gavin, what's your opinion? You're a top player. You have good opinion. Well,
what I was like kind of being a little secretive about, that conversation kind of stemmed from him asking me for advice about it.
Oh.
And dude, he's like a tough case. I felt bad because I didn't know how to truly help, because I felt like everything I was going to say is something he'd either thought or heard before.
Yeah, try coaching yourself. That's what I
Dude, but sometimes, and you know this, Gavin, it's not about hearing something you already know, but it's hearing it from somebody, you know, like, or hearing it in a different way.
Yeah. The main thing is I don't want him to be doing something that isn't like because he wants to do it, which I've said on this podcast before, and I've said to him before. I want every decision he makes to be what he wants to do, because, you know, he's going to be playing his best if he's enjoying it. And he also probably hears a lot of, like, he probably reads a lot of things, and a lot of people have advice, or like a lot of peers have things to say. He's done so many different things in this game. He's been around a long time. So I know what that's like. And it's kind of like advice that I'm projecting a little bit, because a lot of the time it's something I should follow. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I try things because someone tells me to do something, or sometimes I don't know if I should trust myself or others. So I just want him to trust himself, and not be afraid to do something that's like one of his peers might disagree with or something. That's the main thing I wanted to get out. But I was upset that I couldn't really come up with anything too specific in the game, because it's like, what do you tell this dude?
For real.
It's MkLeo, you know what I mean?
Dude,
it's hard. I mean,
and the thing...
Oh, dude, go ahead, Hez.
The thing I have to say is so many people are like, oh, he should just go Joker. Like, it just wins all the time. It's like, bro, he's done that before, and it's lost. Like, this is not a solved case. Like, this is not 2019. You know, like, this is not what's happening right now. His Joker's... dude, it looked so good this weekend. Like, it looked amazing, and I had a great time watching it, and it was winning, and that's great. But, bro, if he goes a different character, he's got to be... It's Leo, man. I'm not going to question it. You know?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Unless it doesn't work, then I'll question it. That was so sick when he kept holding the counter. I love that so much, man. Like, damn. It didn't mean a lot, but mental damage wise,
it's so tempting to not like grab it or something. You know what I mean? There's always like an easy answer, but it's like you don't want to do it.
I feel like there's a certain aspect to Leo versus Spargo too, where that was like, that meant something. You know what I mean? Like, that really meant something.
It's funny that you say that. I was in the crowd waiting for it to happen, and a lot of people in the crowd were like just like, because it was in like kind of like a college type of area, so some of them might not have been actual smashers, or like they were like, and I'm just like in my head thinking like, I really hope they appreciate this, because this is like some fucking like Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson, like,
yeah,
but like
some of the best Smash they're ever gonna see.
but just like in a parking lot, like not like in like a, because it's like before top 8.
The college kids are like, why didn't he just grab that counter? What an idiot!
Like,
damn
I
it.
hope y'all can appreciate that this is happening, because like I feel grateful just to be here live watching these two play, and it's like not even in top 8, so like there's just a lot of craziness about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like I said, like it's like one of those only situations that's like someone that's been playing for so long and all that, like I truly felt like a spectator, like a fan, and that was pretty funny and cool.
That's dope,
dude. That's it.
I don't hear that from you a lot. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's very rare. That's very rare.
You go to everything, so yeah. Hey, Tweek Talk fans, you know what it is. It's sponsorship time, and we're happy to say that today's episode is brought to you by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or your computer. Now, personally, I love finding deals when shopping online. It makes me feel savvy and smart with my decisions, especially when the deals are a surprise. There's nothing like feeling a little lucky when shopping online and finding good deals. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Now imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you go to checkout, the Honey button appears and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey does its work and searches for coupons it can find for that site. And if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. Now, this year, one of my resolutions is to get more into working out. I've been good about the treadmill, but I want to start pumping some weights, right? So I was looking for a new blender, right? I was trying to buy a new blender online. And when I went to go check out, I clicked on my Honey widget and I was able to find a deal and actually save $20 on a really nice blender. Now, this was surprising because it's a really high quality blender. Saving $20 on it was super awesome. And I got to thank Honey for that one. Now, one last thing. Did you know Honey doesn't just work on desktops? It also works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari and your phone and save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid in supporting this show. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/tweek. Again, that's joinhoney.com/tweek. joinhoney.com/TWEEK. Tweek.
I think for Leo's lineup, I just feel like he should pick a character, go with it. It can be any character, and then whatever matchups you struggle with, try to find a character that covers all the matchups, right? So I feel like he likes Byleth the most. If he can play Byleth, it seems like he'll at least try the Byleth out.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, okay, Byleth doesn't have mobility, so characters like maybe Sonic or, Min out, like characters that outrange Byleth, right? So try to find some kind of answer for that. But it just sucks because players like Leo and Tweek, I would say for most players, I would suggest 2 characters max, but Leo and Tweek can push it just because they have so much experience and all that other stuff and their ability to switch in between characters. So like they can push 3, but it's so much harder and so much just so much more work, right?
Depends on the workload too, right? Like it depends on the characters. So that can
exactly. That's another factor as well. I think for me, the biggest part of this set was Leo switched to Joker and just started. It didn't matter what character Spargo was going. Leo's edge guarded the fuck out of him with gun. Both characters. That's what it felt like to me. That set to me, it was still insanely sick. But I was just able, after the set was done, I was like, wow, Leo really just switched to Joker and edge guarded the fuck out of him. That's really just what happened. And every time Sonic beats Spargo, same shit. Just edge guards both of his characters. It doesn't matter which one you go. Both of them have shitty recoveries. I'm Sonic. I'm the best edge guarder in the game. Like, bada bing, bada boom, right?
Dude, he was spamming projectiles with Joker, gun, and side B a lot, and he was slingshotting. He was slingshotting like a wild man, dude. He was just doing it, bro.
He was slanging.
Wild West out here, yeah. He was slanging, bro. It was, and him versus Spargo, you're gonna see that a lot too, right? Which is super, dude. They're so sick. So I can't believe that set was for either you're out of the tournament or congratulations, you made top 8. You have 8 more sets to go if you want to win the tournament or whatever.
I honestly think that puts more pressure on this match. This
Absolutely.
match felt like it was the hypest set of the tournament just because it's not like It definitely up there, right? Because
It's at the
when you're in grands, you're playing for first and second, which like obviously getting second is the shittiest placement to get in a tournament, but ninth is also runner up for that, right? And
Yeah.
when you are playing in losers for ninth, it's like, oh shit.
Actually,
like, I'm either in top 8 or I'm not.
Charles, the worst place to get is last place. Actually, that's how that works. That's actually that's actually the worst place you could get.
Okay, true.
Just so like just throwing it out there. Yes,
this is awesome.
It's true. Think about it.
I'm not gonna argue.
Welcome to the podcast where we teach you like what placings are. This is good.
The thing is, in the back of my head, I'm always trying to get Charles back for the jab 2 thing. I'm always thinking about it. I need to get it back. Oh, it's in the back of my head. He got me. That one joke.
All right, so is Spargo still the best player in the world? I think that's
obviously
a topic that everyone's kind of thinking about. In my opinion, I'll go ahead and start. In my opinion, I think Spargo is still the best player in the world. Yeah. Look at what accolades he has for this year, for 2023. You can't beat that out. I still rank Spargo as the best, but it's so hard to follow up Leo's performance. That's my last tidbit on it. It's like, man, it sucks. You didn't get top 8. That sucks. I still think Spargo's the best currently right now, but it's so hard to follow up Leo's performance in early Ultimate, man. Like pre-quarantine, Leo's dominance.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be any other player.
You mean like legacy all time, right? Not just wearing the crown, but like what it means to do that. Yeah.
And be that consistent as Leo was like at his worst placements in when he was dominant was second place. That is fucking insane. Like that is insanity.
Leo would go to losers bracket and people act like he lost the tournament, and it's like, well, now it's just going to take longer because now he needs to win all these sets. So I would
every time Leo got upset in the losers, I would pull up the bracket and just look who's in his path. I'm like, fuck, that sucks. Like that really fucking sucks.
I always think of that one Frostbite where Meister was in Grand's winner side, and then Leo just went on the run of a lifetime, and I don't think Meister ever beat him at that point. So I don't know if he still has.
There was always like this hidden thing back then too, pre-quarantine, where for all the players where Leo would go into losers. And I swear to God, all the other top players would fight harder in winners because it's like, oh shit, I can dodge Leo if I stay in winners and like worst case fight him in grands. You know what I mean? It low-key put more pressure on the winners side matches.
Bro, okay, I was gonna try to play the other side here and say Jakal is better than Spargo right now, but he isn't. I don't see a recorded tournament for him since Battle of BC. That's a while. That's been a while, man. That's 2 weekends. Huh.
And also for Akola, it's very hard to say that he's better over Spargo because your 2 highest placements or like the biggest tournaments are second place to who?
Spargo.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so
that's
in my
not even a conversation for me. Like not even an argument can be made.
He can't beat Spargo, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. Well, like he just didn't do it at those tournaments, right? And those 2 wins, I mean, those have to be the 2 most stacked tournaments, or at least 2 of the 3. Or
what about Summit though, huh?
But that is an invitational. You still have to count that as an invitational. I still think those results matter into ranking, but I hold open tournaments to a higher regard because the amount of talent you have to go through, like getting invited to Summit is sick, but I look at all these other open bracket tournaments. Spargo didn't even get top 8 at this tournament. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you can't even get to that top 16 or top 8 area because of how thick the talent pool is. Kagurib is a perfect example of that, where like there's so many players that coulda, woulda, shoulda got invited to the Summit, and that's an easy top 16 within that tournament. But can you even get top 16 at Kaguribi? There's so many players that were seeded top 16 and didn't even make it to top 16 Kaguribi. So those open brackets are really stressful.
Dude, and let's not. I'm just doing it to create content and talk about something, but let's not act like Spargo's lead or hold on number 1 isn't clear enough. Where this one placement where he got 9th knocks the crown off his head, right? Like that's not where we're at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just trying to be controversial. I'm on the wrong podcast.
Out.
Can we? Speaking of competitive journeys, can we talk about Street Fighter 6 just for a little bit?
Sure.
So, Charles, you're having a pretty good time with the game?
I mean, I'm really bad. Like, really, really bad. I played a little bit of Guilty Gear. Or actually, I played a good amount of Guilty Gear, but Guilty Gear is pretty different from Street Fighter. So I understand, like, inputs and buffering and all that other stuff, but it's definitely a different beast. But to me, it feels like I'm coming in on a clean slate, which is really nice because I've never like super hardcore competed. I've played Street Fighter casually when I was younger, and I would watch a bunch of Street Fighter 4 and 5. So I like get it in terms of like what you should be trying to do, but it's a whole new palette for me. So it's fun, like getting used to the drive rush mechanic and drive impact or all the drive gauge stuff, and I'm having a good time. Watching
I don't have a license.
Oh,
I don't have a driver's license.
Yeah, you don't. Are you planning on getting that soon?
I've offered to teach you how to drive so many times.
But I did.
I mean it. I'll still do it if we get enough Patreon.
Street Fighter 6, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna play it.
You downloaded it? Let B play. She'll play with us.
It's a fun game. Like it. I think at the end of the day, as long as you can kind of like dabble and have fun.
Smash, like.
See, Charles. So this is my problem.
Okay,
I had such a problem with Street Fighter 6. So I download the game. I've obviously been looking forward to this. I played Street Fighter a lot, competitively, really competitively in 3, and enough in 4. Like I played well in 4. Like I don't remember what I was.
Maybe
playing,
like the first 6 months or year, you played like pretty seriously in 4.
Yeah, in 4, yeah, for sure.
Because it transferred over from 3, so that was like your active time.
It didn't is the thing. It was a lot to learn. Like they're very 3 is like I'd say the most different of all the games. Like for sure, it's very strange the way. Like kind of timing and parrying, such a unique mechanic because you can do it in the air, like so you can defend yourself in the air with parrying if you're good.
What? Oh my god, that's one thing I'm like. Coming from Guilty Gear, you can block in the air in Guilty Gear.
Yeah, or Street Fighter Alpha.
In Street Fighter, you jump, bro. No defense.
In Alpha, you can block in the air, but still, it's like you know.
Yeah. It's a big.
In this game, no, you jump. It's a commitment, basically. And so I'm having a good time the first night. Like I'm having fun playing with people in the Discord, and I'm having a good time. And then I hop on rank the next day, and I'm just getting washed like over and over and over. And I truly hit this point where I had like, and Gavin was traveling, so I couldn't because I wanted to talk to Gavin about it, but I couldn't because he was traveling. I think you're on the plane, and I couldn't convey this over text. But I was like, I'm truly having a moment of existential crisis where like I might just be done with video games, period. Like that is how bad I was feeling. I'm not kidding. Like I truly was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't learn new skills. I can't unlearn. Like basically you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Like, okay, it's cool that you have this muscle memory from like playing Street Fighter, and it's cool that you know these kind of basic things. But you can't, like, I would lose to people who would mash one new mechanic from Street Fighter 6, and I would just lose to it over and over and over and over. I'm like, I'm unable to learn. Like, I can't do it. And I had a terrible day, like a full day. And I was like, I'm fucking done. And I stopped playing Street Fighter 6 for like, I don't know.
It's a shame we couldn't truly talk about that and dissect that because,
yeah,
I mean, to be honest, like I could say that's almost exactly how I feel about Smash Ultimate right this moment. Like when I don't get first place or something, like, and a lot of it is because like there's eras to Smash and there's different Smash games, and I came from a specific era and Smash was always played a specific way. Like this is right, this is wrong, and like I have things mentally like whether I want to get rid of it or not that I agree with and disagree with when it comes to play style and decision making, and like my entire like 5+ years or wherever the fuck with Ultimate, I've been fighting that this whole time and nothing has changed. Like I don't respect the way certain people play. I don't respect certain characters. There's certain new things that I like. It's not that I don't learn new things. It's that like, there's just certain things that I just hate and like
hard to accept, like, right?
Every time I lose a tournament, I have to sit down and ask myself like, if you want to keep doing this, you have to accept new Smash. You have to accept these players and respect them as competitors, and you have to accept this game and respect what it's offering. And it's tough because I'm battling that and also my pride of playing the way I want to play. And it's a weird thing, and that I deal with every time I pick up a controller. So
yeah, dude, it reminds me of the K9 thing where he's talking about Ken. He's like, that's not Smash. That's not Smash. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I turned items off. You're playing Diddy Kong. And there you go. You got an item. That's not Smash to me. Like, what is that? But like you said, I need to accept that part of the game with Diddy and like that's going to be there whether or not I want it to be. And he just like he needed to either accept or not that Ken is going to exist in the game and do the bullshit that he does. He's complete bullshit, obviously. Like a lot of his shit is bullshit, obviously.
Honestly, relatively to a lot of other things, he's just not though.
Well, in vanilla, after he got buffed, it was a lot worse. But now, obviously, with DLC,
he's kind of just a normal character.
I know exactly what K9's bitching about, and I mean I agree with him because I just don't like fighting game characters in Smash. They're frustrating to play against. But he was like, what is this up kick shit in the shore you like in the fucking air? Like he doesn't even do that in his game. He doesn't even do that in Street Fighter. I don't see Ken in Street Fighter doing double up kicks in the fucking air and comboing into shore you like.
That quote, that's not Smash, always drove me fucking insane because it was
that's
like,
the Rich Brown quote.
I was like, yes. I love Rich Brown. I think
you would always say that in Smash 4. Cloud,
but that's the thing
with the final smash. Got to charging up my final smash meter. No other character has access to this. Let me just go ahead and limit it up. Oh, got my final smash. I got my install.
I was like, yes, but yes, it is. Like, yes, it is. Like 100%. It fucking is. It's fucking Smash, and that's how. So after like, dude, I took like a full 2 days off, and it really, so like Charles and a bunch of other people in the Discord, like, oh yeah, I'm having so much fun. I'm like labbing these combos. I'm like, fuck this game. Like this game fucking sucks. Like, this isn't Street Fighter, right?
Yeah,
dude, I was
grumpy
I
old
went
man
through.
Over here.
It felt like I felt like I went through like all the stages of like I don't know what is it like grief, right? Like where you're like. Denial, like, no, it's not me, it's the game that sucks, like all this shit. And I went through it. At the end of the day, I was like, am I going to sit here and try to learn these new things, or am I going to not play? And I was like, I really want to play. So I sat there and I was like, well, the two ways you improve are either watching VODs or by playing. And I was like, I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to watch and see what other, obviously I play Ken in this game. I was like, what are other Kens doing and what am I missing? And how do I avoid losing to the scrubby shit that I'm losing to? And I really stuck it out, and I'm so fucking happy I did, because obviously, I'll admit it, I was being a little bit of a fucking little bitch about it. I was.
I think you're just being frustrated, and you're older now, and I think...
wow, you didn't have to throw that one
and
in
you
there,
can't learn new tricks.
No, I'm saying... like
my tricks are capped out? Oh, no.
I can relate to this specifically with Ultimate, because... the amount of time I put into competing, like the most amount of time I put into competing for any Smash game wasn't even Smash 4, which is like the game I thought I was the best at in terms of like my Smash lifetime, like which game I was the best at. It was actually Brawl. I put the most amount of time into Brawl because of that point in my life. I was a high schooler, right? And then Smash 4, I put the second most amount of time because I really wanted to compete, but that was like, like mid-20s or whenever the fuck that was. So as you get older, there's more responsibilities, and one thing can frustrate you, and then that's already going to tip you into the point of like, am I committing or am I not committing, right? Am I going to commit time to learn this game? Am I not? And I don't even think it's necessary. If you said you're like, you know what, I don't like the new drive gauge, I've got so much other shit to do right now, and I don't want to play it, I don't even think that's being toxic or necessarily a bad thing, but you just need to make a decision instead of being in the middle.
Which is what you said to me, and you were like, oh, you just don't like the game. I'm like, that's not true. It's not that I don't like the game. I don't...
You don't like getting drive impact, yeah.
Well, this is the most dramatic way to put it. I'm like, I don't like myself. like I.
Oh, don't worry. I'm that guy when you're playing friendlies and I drop something and I'll just be like, I fucking suck, and I make it super awkward and stuff. That's me.
Well, that's and obviously that's like an over dramatic reaction. And I acknowledge that, but like the truth, it's like, well, and there's so many times where I'm like, well, I have so much shit going on. Like I'm like doing work on my house, like I'm doing all this stuff, like I don't have time to learn how to react, drive, impact. And I was like, dude, stop being such a fucking, like, it's not that hard, like just sit there and try. And a part of it was just something I realized too, is since I hadn't tried to learn a fighting game, Street Fighter 4 came out in 2008. Like I haven't tried to learn a new fighting game skill, like not counting Smash, because that's different, because Smash is like breathing air, like you just do it, like it's just fun to play all the time. I haven't tried to learn a fighting game in 15 years. Like I didn't do Guilty Gear. I didn't play a drop of Street Fighter 5. Thank God. That game is, hot garbage, terrible. No good characters in that game, Gavin.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was, and
I love Street Fighter 5. I'm gonna say it. I love that game.
Is that your favorite Street Fighter?
Yes.
So,
well, it's also the only one I've played. So.
Okay.
Like I truly haven't tried to learn a new skill in Street Fighter in 15 years. I'm like, I need to be a little easier on myself and not be. And now I'm like in total Zen mode. I'm like, if I lose, I'm like able to digest it and like see through it. I don't know what changed. I think it was just like I think before I was really just trying to be like, I'm gonna fucking beat everyone because I'm good at third strike, which I am, and like I'm glad I have that confidence. But that's not what this is. Like this is a whole different fucking thing. So I really went through. I know it would have been great if we could have connected on it, honestly. Well, I also didn't want to like.
No, I love hearing this. I think it's a really cool like. It's funny. It's only been out a few days, but the journey is already so interesting to hear from your perspective.
It's amazing.
And, you know, it gives me inspiration to keep doing what I'm doing with Smash, even though it's not 3 days old. It's like 10 years old, but
it's very same but different, right? Like
yes.
Because I think the biggest challenge is overcoming yourself. Like I think that's such a big part because even in the Discord, I hear people and they're getting so frustrated at things. I'm like, I see them do it, and I'm like,
yes.
You know, it's kind of like what you see. You see it in yourself. Like you got to relax. Like if you're getting frustrated at this, like I dropped the combo. Fuck. And it's like, well, you got to relax because if you miss that combo and you're all pissed off, you're never gonna hit it the second time. Like there's no way. Like because you're pissed. And you're thinking about it. Like there's no way you're gonna hit it. So yeah, and it's like and I think a lot of it too, Charles. I think you brought this up a little bit. There's so much information overload. I was like, I can't learn all this stuff.
Crazy. It's hard.
I can't learn this, and I'm like, don't. Just do what you can do for now, and when you need more, dedicate time to figuring it out. And that's where I've been spending time in the like. All right, I need to hit a little harder because my opponents are at this rank are now hitting way harder than me. And I went from my trash initial placing of silver 1. And I'm like a couple games away from platinum now. Like I've been fucking grinding. Like I've been playing a lot. And I've learned so much. And sometimes it's like,
that's awesome.
Sometimes it's like I see the other player on the other side of the screen. I'm like, I know exactly what you're going to do because that's what I was doing 8 games ago. That's what I was doing yesterday. I understand, but you're going to lose to me because I've already been there, which is what someone did to me, you know, like because they had the beta for longer, or they played the crack version, or like they just learned faster or some shit, or they watched more VODs.
The Cap Cops.
I'll tell, bro. I don't care. I'll tattle. I'll get him out of there.
This person played the cracked version. Get him out. This person anyway, me. That's the cracked version.
So it's been fun, is what I'll say. But it truly that like 36-hour period where I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like I was supposed to be this guy that loves Street Fighter.
You were going through it in the Discord, bro.
Dude, and that wasn't the half of it, Charles, because I'm a regular human and I didn't just like, you know, say every single thing that I was feeling in that second. But I was just like, I'm really not feeling it. Like I'm not feeling good. But internally I was like, I love Street Fighter so much and I hate the way it's making me feel right now. Like, what does that mean? Like, and I was like, I have 2 options here. Either I can go out and that's it, or I could fight through this and spend an hour or 2 and learn something. And it went really well.
Bro, I love Street Fighter 2. Like, not 2 as in the number.
Champion Edition, yeah. Super Turbo. Jab 2.
And it's cool that, like, it's just so cool seeing. I've watched quite a bit since I got home. I watched you play a little bit with our friend, and I thought both of you were fantastic already. For what it's worth from someone who's never played. But yeah, like I played a decent amount of Street Fighter 5 and I played it towards the end of its lifespan. So I was playing a completely different game than the people who didn't like it and gave up on it. And I love that game. But it brought a different beast out of me, which is saying a lot because there's a terrible beast that gets brought out when I play Super Smash Brothers. But Street Fighter 5 had me like feral sometimes. Like,
oh yeah,
there's still a lot of things I never got too great with. But like you said, like I did what I could, and as I ranked up a little bit, I tried to match what other people were doing. But it's cool when a new fighting game comes out because you know you got Sonic Fox playing it, you got my friend Haz playing it. You got
Sonic Fox and Haz, you know, 2 the goats.
That's pretty much it. But then you have like, you know, Smashers playing it, or like, you know, even B is in the background. Like, oh, maybe I should try. And she's like not like a fighting game person. Like,
but Gavin, it's so funny because that part really drove home that like weird crisis I was having. I was like, everyone else is playing this and having such a good time, and I'm fucking miserable. Like, what is going on? Like, this feels horrible. Like this can't be the way it ends. Like that's what I decided. I was like, this can't be it. Like if it means I play a different character, it means I play a different character. Obviously I stuck it out with my boy Ken. Duh. Like I'm not gonna give up like that. But that's how I played 4 because I couldn't figure out Ken in 4, so I switched to Ryu and I was like, oh, this is great. And I figured out everything because his ultras were easier to combo into and stuff like that. Like it just felt better. But I'm sticking with him in this game because he's good and he's the style I like. So
He feels amazing.
Bro, when you put people in the corner in this game, it's fucking done. Like, it's just over. Like, you're fucking
He has a bunch
dead,
of cool
dude.
shit too. Like, he has a command dash that can go into different shit. Like, Ken has a lot of cool things.
Bro,
I've been having a ton of fun.
Yeah, well, no one played that. In a game, people played him, you mean? The command, could you run and do specials and they'd get powered up?
Mr. Street Fighter 5. Well, you can power him up in this one.
He had a B skill that was the run thing, yeah.
So the crazy thing is when you run and do a move, like they're very powerful, but it doesn't use any meter. So you can like full carry to the corner, keep all your meter, and it's party time. It's fucking so sick. Really, really well designed. I think that's easy to say in the beginning. JP is a gigantic piece of shit, and so is E Honda. That's what I gotta say about it.
All right,
everyone else is pretty cool. What?
All right, end of the episode. See ya.
That's it. We're going out of that. All right. What's your next tournament, everyone? I'm not going anything for a while.
There's a couple things this month that I'm still on the fence about. Leaning towards no, just for clarification, since this is going to be public. So I will say I'm leaning towards no for the rest of the things in June. But I am keeping my eye on a lot of things because as burnt out as I feel and as terrible as I feel and as like confused as I feel right now with Smash, I still really want to play and compete and put myself out there. So I'm paying attention to the schedule and figuring out what I'm going to do next. There's stuff that's for sure, like Gommel and SmashCon or whatever. So like there's stuff that's for sure. I know Gommel's like relatively soon, like next month or something. I guess there is some good news that I'm like 90% plus sure on is that I'll be at Smash Factor, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, you're going to Smash Factor? I'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah, even Charles is surprised. So
let's fucking go.
I've only been outside of the US a few times in my life.
Should I expect my invitation soon?
Yeah. Could we get Haz there too? Why not?
I'm doing like the Street Fighter 6 reaction faces before the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some good news. Because I know I was just said that like I'm unsure about some, so there's some that I'm definitely going to be at. But yeah.
My next tournament is Wave Dash, which is local, which is not this coming weekend, but the next weekend. It's like a 20-minute drive or so. So I'll be there. Maybe CEO, maybe. So still working that out for comms, and then after that, Smash Factor is my next tournament after that. So that's my lineup.
Nice. I'm not doing shit.
We going to Evo for Street Fighter?
50% chance.
I'll probably win. So
they got placed in the bracket for the champion or what?
Yeah. Well,
did you see that prize pool though?
It'll be like Jude and Zomba. It'll be like me and Haz and Grands, you know.
Yeah, Jude Zomba. We're the Jude Zomba of Street Fighter. Wow, these guys play against each other in Discord.
What if they have like they play up to top 8, right? And then they have all the top 8 competitors ready, and then the cap cops come in and they're like, obviously all of you guys play the crack
I'll be
version.
snitching,
Get out of
bro.
here.
Yeah,
like, no one gets any of the prize money. All of top 8 arrested for playing the crack version because your conversions are too nice.
The thing I'll say in our group chat we have with Phil at one point, because we all the commentators kind of dog on EE a little bit because he's not good at games, right? And at one point, when I did my rank matches and I was in low silver, I was like, fucking call me EE in this game. I placed in silver. And EE responded, he goes, silver still shines, baby. He's all he said. I was like, I'm so upset, but that made me laugh so hard.
I don't even think Phil is that bad at games, or I don't think EE's that bad.
I'm terrible at games.
You are terrible at games, which is so funny, Chad.
You have a weird spectrum, Gavin. It's like, yes, I've seen you be like ultra dog shit, and then I've seen you be like a savant at other games. It's like, what the heck?
You are good at Smash Bros, right?
Yeah, you are good at Smash. Well, that's the weird thing, because I'm like, how can you do all this shit in Smash, but like you can't jump on? You don't know how to walk through a forest in Final Fantasy VII. Like, what happened?
Dude, the basketball game in Final Fantasy VII had me fucking dying.
Oh my god, dude. You play RPGs in general. It's just like, how is this possible? Like, this is reading off a list. Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, like there's I'll be struggling at like the most basic game, but then like I'll be playing Doom Eternal. I'm just locked in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're cracked at FPSs. You definitely have stronger genres. You're cracked at FPSs.
And then like in Smash, it's like the most basic concept. I cannot be taught, but like I'll do a bunch of crazy stuff with Diddy or something. I don't
Back
know.
air with Cloud does not compute. Oh, do double Z drop, triple Z drop into Dare combo. Oh, okay.
That was cool, yeah. New Spider-Man movie was sick too. That's probably the last thing I'm gonna say here.
Beautiful,
fucking
beautiful
rule.
movie.
Actual
Jesus Christ.
art.
Yes, like the.
I didn't get to see it.
Go see
God,
it,
I
Jim.
didn't get to see the movie or play Spider-Man. Instead, I'm losing to fucking Steve and Zomba.
You could be losing my Ken if you wanted.
Also, that is one thing I wanted to say. Shouts to Onan, who's like had a bit of a
Yes.
rough patch for bouncing back. Because
Yep,
Onan like started out so ridiculously strong.
winning Smash Con, yeah.
But
Yeah.
Onan performed very well this weekend, so shout-outs to you. You know, it's kind of been a big topic, talking about Crown and Smash and has a Street Fighter. This main topic has been like getting over hurdles. So there's a lot of players that did that this weekend at Crown. Shout-outs to y'all. I'm salty as fuck.
Same.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And we're going to get into the Patreon bonus content.
How we all like to VOD review. See you guys there.
See you.